Yo. Yo, 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 what up, peeps? Objectivity feed. One second. I was farming an item on my game, and I got it like way quicker than I expected to get it. On my idle game. Now I need to farm a second item. I don't know what the drop rates on these things are. Yo, what up, Duck? Yeah, my birthday was the 29th. I don't really get a birthday most years. And I was kind of like in a funk from like returning from my vacation and everything. Like my sleep schedule got really messed up, and it was just a mess. And then disc golf happened, like the disc golf pro tour, like that I watch like every year. Like that happened, that started up. So I wasn't streaming on my birthday. Yeah, it was. It was alright. No, it was good. It was a good vacation and everything. Very, very amazing. I didn't want to say good vacation. It was an amazing vacation. It was an adventure. I was waiting for like the ad to finish. No, I went card camping across the country, and it was an adventure. I wish like I didn't like really like plan it out much, like because like I was like so focused on like leaving and trying this out, because like okay, so little backstory. For like the past like year or so, like I've been like obsessed with like the idea of car camping. Like I watch like videos of it like on YouTube of like people like who they go like on adventures like in the car, and they just like sleep in their car, and you know they sleep in like parking lots or whatever, and or like you know sometimes they'll go like on a trail, and a lot of those guys like they cook in their car, and like they do all sorts of stuff like that, which I wasn't. I was like that, like crazy, like because I have like a small car. You know, I have a Honda Civic 2024 hatchback. Okay, I don't have like an Element, like one girl camps like on a Honda Element. A lot of people do it in these like they call them converter vans, like where they get these like big vans. Like a lot of times, like they're like these Mercedes. There's like a term for it, like a 3000 class or something like that. And you know, they basically turn it into like a mini, like a tiny home. I didn't do that. Like I just like basically put like a bed in there. You know, had my disc golf bag because there's like quite a few disc golf courses I want to stop at. And then I had 5 blankets with me actually because I wasn't sure how cold it was gonna get. That was like my main concern is to drive back. Like I was going to like Wyoming and stuff like in the dead of winter, and the most I ever used any nights were 3, so I think 5 was like a little bit too much. But I didn't have like a sleeping bag or anything. A lot of people use like sleeping bags that are like great for like 0-degree weather. But anyways, yeah. So and then I had 2 baskets like of clothes basically. You know, and I had to like basically dress for like summer weather because like California's like 70 degrees right now, and I had to dress for like winter weather. So it's kind of like the hardest part. So I think it took like I don't know, like 3 hoodies, and I only own 1 pair of pants. I own 1 pair of jeans, but I also brought like a pair of my work pants because like they're like double insulated, like they're rated for like negative 10-degree weather or something like that. And yeah, like it was amazing. I'll just put like straight up, like I got back and like literally like after being home like a day and sleeping in my own bed like a day, like I wanted like to just like basically leave again because I just had such a good time doing it. And like I did like all sorts of stuff like that like I think contributed to it. Like, you know, I was basically blowing money like a lot more than I expected to be, but like at the same time like not as much as like my top end estimate was a lot higher than like what I spent, but my low end estimate was like quite a bit lower than I spent too. So I was like slightly below half of like what I like the range. But like, you know, it's not like I'd like look at stuff like I did like like when I was like in Los Angeles, for example, I did like a Warner Bros tour, like of like the Warner Bros lot like out in like Hollywood, and that was like $100, and that was like a half a day thing. So, and that's like not including food or anything either. So it's like stuff like that. Like if you didn't do that stuff, like it would cut down the cost so much. I spent like $100 on food, like when I was in like Las Vegas, for example. Like, you know, I didn't need to eat where I ate, you know. It easily cut down costs, but I actually thought about like making like a video about this like on YouTube, but then like I realized like how like slow I am at editing and how like long that would take like to make and everything, and I didn't really take like a lot of like video. I took like a lot of pictures, so I'll probably like end up like not this stream, but like a stream in the future, just to kind of like go over like the photos, like put them in a folder and everything, because like there's a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, long story short, yeah, first day I went out to St. Louis, Missouri. I live in Columbus, Ohio, okay? So, I could definitely go further than St. Louis, Missouri in like one day, but like the day I left, like Columbus and Ohio really got hit by a blizzard, and like I got really lucky because on like the eastbound side, because I was heading west, on the eastbound side, they had it closed for like 20 miles because there was like just like a multi-car accident that happened. And like even like on like the on the westbound side, I got like lucky because I only saw a single accident, which was like this guy that like jackknifed, and he was like basically blocking 3 of the 4 lanes. So like everyone had to, you know, merge all the way to the right and go around him. So I got like really lucky there, and then like by the time I got to like Indianapolis, like the roads were clear. I just got like extremely like lucky, and I got like really like lucky on the way back too with weather, because like Reno, Nevada got hit like really hard with like a blizzard, and I was basically like I was like in like the blizzard like on like the middle to eastern coast of California, but then like I was like basically just ahead of like them like shutting down roads and like all these like accidents happening. But by the time like I got like outside of California, it was like relatively clear. But then like Reno got hit. I was gonna stay in Reno that night, but I like chose not to because I like looked and they were supposed to get hit like a really bad storm. And like basically, if I would have stayed there like that night, I would have got stuck there like multiple nights because they got hit with like so much snow. And then like same thing with like Wyoming, like they got blasts of snow and multiple accidents. And the problem is like because it's like it's so windy, like in like Utah and Wyoming, like they get like a few inches of snow, and it's like the worst thing ever for them. Am I fighting the wrong? No, I thought I was fighting the wrong thing. So yeah, I literally have like a picture like where it's like foggy in Eastern California, like and I'm on this like perch. But it's like gorgeous and everything. I'm like overlooking like a little valley with like a river and everything. And then like an hour later, like there's like inches of snow on the ground, like, and it's like I'm going like 40 miles an hour on the highway. And like when I say I'm going 40, like I'm not, like I'm going faster than most people on the road. And like it's not like these are like, you know, straight flat roads, like it's it's like in the mountains, you know, it's curvy, like mountainous roads. So yeah, I stopped at St. Louis like the first night, and my idea was like that I was gonna, like St. Louis is like if I say like what do you think like St. Louis is like known for as far as food goes? Like, people will say, like, one thing, basically, and that is St. Louis barbecue, right? So I, like, look online, and I'm just like, I gotta find, like, a barbecue place, right? Like, I love ribs, like, it's like one of my favorite foods, and come to find out that, like, it might be, like, a little exaggerated, like, how well they're known for barbecue. At least, like, the barbecue that they are known for is more... It's not really, like... I need to find a way to... There we go, that's better. The barbecue they're known for is not really, like, the barbecue... Like, it's not like Texas barbecue, like, where... Like, ribs and stuff like that. It's, like, really, like, just, like, the barbecue sauce itself that they're known for. So, like, they put that, like, on, like, you know, chicken and pulled pork and stuff like that. So, I went to a place, and I don't know the name of it. I can find it, like, out, and I've got like, the name, like, on my phone. But they didn't sell ribs. And I was like, what kind of barbecue place that's known for barbecue does not sell ribs? And then like I said something to them, like, oh no, we have ribs, it's just on Sundays though. And I was like, what? Like, most places are closed on Sundays, you know, like, you know, because of church and stuff like that. So it's weird that, like, the one day that they have ribs is, like, the one day, like, most places that, you know, if they're closed on. Well, I guess some places are closed on Monday if it's, like, a fancier place. So they wouldn't be open during the weekend, but anyways. So I end up like driving like a little because I don't want to stay like in the city itself because this is my first night, so I was like a little like nervous about the whole car camping thing. I end up going further west to like a town called Troy, which is like, I mean it's a big, I say it's like small town. It's small compared to like Columbus. It's like big compared to like, you know, most cities and everything. It's like it's not. It's nothing like small, you know. And I was talking to my mom like this whole time, and she's just like, you know, like, why are you like rushing? Like, you know, like, you know, you should have spent like a night in St. Louis. Like, you have like all this, because I literally had like 2 months off work. I still don't go back to work until for like 3 more weeks, right? So like I was like, why am I rushing? Like, you know, like, and I was like, that's a good point. So originally I was gonna skip like this. There's the number 6 disc golf course in the world is in Troy, Missouri, or just outside Troy, Missouri. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna hit that disc golf course up. And there's a second disc golf course that's like an hour away that we're also I'm gonna play that disc golf course too. Called Harmony Bends. So I played Eagles Crossing. Like the Champions, I think it's called Champions Landing, or something. It's like Champions Course, Champions Landing. I don't know. But it's at Eagles Crossing. Like it's like a complex, but it was like weird because like I was like the only person there, and it's like there's no snow on the ground here. It's like it's cold, but it's like, I don't know, 45-ish. It's not like... It's not like it's, like, cold in the sense of... Not... Like, I know people who won't play if it's, like, below, like 30 or below or whatever. Like, I get that, you know? Because, like, at that point, like, you know, like, it starts to get, like, inside of you. Like, your bones get cold and, like, it hurts, like, to throw the disc sometimes. But, like, 45 is just, like... more of like an annoying cold. It's not like, you know, debilitating at all. So I was like really surprised, like, and I got there early, so I expected to be like the only person like there, like when I got there. But like even like when I left, I was the only person there. So I was like really surprised about that. Really nice course. It's my issue with this course. There's 2 issues. Like, one, it's a distance course. Like, I throw far for, like, my skill level, like MA4, MA3. Like, I'm technically, like, middle of pack MA3, okay? I throw far for that, okay? I throw a consistent 300. I've thrown 375 before in flatland. Like, this course, like, made me feel like I don't throw far at all. So, like, I think, like, in, like, the future, this will be a good course, but, like, it's one of those things, like, where, like, this is a good course, like, because I played the short layout, like, playing the short layout, you should be, like, MA2, playing the medium layout, be MA1/FPO, and then playing, like, the long layout, you should be, you know, an MPO, but even then, like, I think, like, in, like, 10 years, like, this course would be great for, like, MPO. Like, it's not like a good course, like, right now for MPO, you know? Because, like, the top 25% of, like, the field, it's probably good for, but, like, not the whole, like, MPO field, if that makes sense. And then, like, the other thing, too, is, like, this guy's, like... Originally, like, it was gonna be, like a survival, like, land or whatever, and, like for like a doomsday prepper type deal. Like the guy's like fucking weird, I guess, that owns this course. I luckily didn't have to meet him or anything like that. But instead of like doing that, because you know probably like realized like how like fruitless like that idea was, he instead turned it into like a disc golf complex, and clearly has like a lot of money from something, and wants to show the fact that he's got like a lot of money off to like the world, because like every single hole, there's just like these like random ass statues like everywhere, like concrete statues of like woolly mammoths and like saber-toothed tigers and just crocodiles and just like all sorts of like random shit, and it's just like it's kind of tacky to me. Like it's like, dude, we get it, you got money, but like I don't know. I just like that aspect was like too much, you know. But like when you take like the course like at its face value as a disc golf course, like it's got like a lot of like, you know, you're throwing a different shot shape on every hole, which is like the main thing that, you know, you should focus like on for a disc golf course. And it's enjoyable, you know. There's a good variety of heavily wooded versus like lightly wooded versus, you know, wide open. So yeah, then I went and played Harmony Bends. And I've heard like amazing things about this course, and like it lived up to it. Like I hate to say it like this, but like it was like muddy as fuck, right? Because of, you know, tail end of winter, early spring. And like that was like the only detraction of the course I had. Like, and it's just like, it's like not the course's fault that it's like muddy as fuck. Well, kind of is, because I've heard like hole one's like always muddy, so I don't know. Anyways, but this is like a more like wooded course, but with like defined fairways, and I think it's just over like a more enjoyable course to play. That being said, like everything was like in like a elongated like layout, because I guess they had like some like, I think it was like the amateur like major like last year or something like that, like the Pro-Am, or not the Pro-Am, the I can't remember what it's called, like the like basically the best of the best amateurs, like amateur like world championship or whatever, I don't know what it's called. Anyways, amateur national championship maybe. And so like everything was like pushed back like 50 to like 100 feet, like every single basket was. So instead of being like good shot shapes and like you know, like within my reach and everything, like everything ends up being like on like the just outside my reach to like barely in my reach. So like on top of throwing like, you know, like these like technical like lines, I also have to throw these very high power shots, like high power and high accuracy. Like you're talking like, you know, 1% chance shots, and it's just it doesn't really make, it's like that's like not enjoyable to me. Like hitting lines is like enjoyable, or like throwing max distance shots, like not combining the two, because like you're gonna like lose accuracy like when you're throwing like max distance, you know. I definitely don't need to kill these. So that's Troy, Missouri. From there, I went. God, I want to say it's like Wichita, Kansas. It's somewhere in Kansas, and oops, I didn't mean to pop that. Forgot where I was for a second. And yeah, I mean, nice little city and everything. I kind of just like drove through it. I don't really remember like a lot about Wichita, Kansas. I remember eating something that was like decent. They had like by far the most confusing traffic patterns, because they have like a lot of like service roads is what they call them, like roads that like run like alongside like a highway, but you get off on the service road so you can like, you know, pull into like wherever you're going. And but like the service like roads like don't go far enough, and like ends up confusing like the GPS. Like the GPS like is clearly like outdated like in that area, or like something's going on with it, like to like where a lot of times they tell me to get on a service road, but then like do like an illegal U-turn to get like where I was going. And I was like, yeah, I don't think that's like how that goes, guys, but whatever. There's something about Wichita I can't remember. So yeah, and then you know, I kept going, because the other thing too is everyone kept talking about how much of a shithole that like Amarillo was. Like that was like the only reason like, I ended up like going through Troy instead of going, because like it's like either go like west to Troy or go south to I can't think of like where, but like you end up going through like Amarillo. So like it basically like we did like a detour because I didn't want to go through Amarillo because like everyone just like talks about how bad Amarillo was, and then I was just like, you know, on top of that, instead of going that way and like going through like Amarillo, which sucks, I could go through Santa Fe, which I've heard like a lot of like great things about Santa Fe. So I was like, oh yeah, let's check out Santa Fe and everything. And pretty glad I did because I went to like Meow Wolf, which it's like an interactive like art exhibit thing. Like that was like the story was like made by George R.R. Martin, and it's kind of cool because it's like you're basically like trying to like figure out this like this story and like, you know, what happened to these people and everything, but then like it also like has like these like weird like little like art things. It's kind of hard to explain. Like if you've never been anything like it. Columbus has a thing called Otherworld. That's like the closest thing I can think of like that I like experienced like it. But Otherworld puts like the art like at the forefront because like it's like basically like you walk in like these like rooms that have like these like cool like visuals and everything, and like they're very photographic and everything. Whereas like Meow Wolf is like more so about like the storytelling, and then like the art is like a secondary thing. But like they like literally got like real actors to play this family, and like they, you know, made these like sets basically that like you like sit there and like there's like books that like they like full on books that they like wrote and that you can like read and everything, and like diaries and stuff like that, and like you have to like find these like clues to like, you know, find more and more like about like the what's going on and everything. I spent like roughly like 2 hours like in there because like I got like long story short, there's like 2 safes, and I figured out how like to open up the 2 safes and like find out like what's inside them and everything. If you sat there and like watch like all like the video footage and like read like all the like the stuff, like you could easily spend like, you know, 10 hours there. And then they get a place like right outside there called like Taco Flat. That was the only time on the whole trip that I was approached by a homeless person that I saw like, you know, like blatant homeless people and everything was in Santa Fe. Which is like crazy because like I don't like I went to like a lot of big cities like LA and like Las Vegas, and like I guess like I erroneously assumed that like, you know, like those, because like Columbus has like a lot of homeless people, right? And it's like the second or biggest city in Ohio. I can't remember. I know Cincinnati's getting close to like to surpassing it if it hasn't already. But yeah, so I had a homeless person come up to me and talking about how, oh, I can't go like to a homeless shelter because I got beat up there, and I don't know how, you know, how true any of that stuff is, but unfortunately I've become pretty jaded like when it comes to homeless people because of different experiences I've had. So I used to be the guy that, like, you know, I would legit, like, every time like I saw like a homeless person, I'd give them, you know, $5 or whatever at one point in my life, and then just got jaded over time. watching them spend that money. Like, I've literally gotten food for homeless people, watched them, like, turn around and sell that food to someone just so they could go buy a beer. And, like, that, like, it straight up, like, you know, pisses you off, like... Then, like, on top of that, like, reading stuff about how if you donate $5 to, like, a food pantry or whatever, like, that's, like, for, like, homeless people, like, it'll stretch, like, a lot further, like, for, you know, to help them out and everything. Anyways, I didn't really want to get political or whatever, but... So, yeah, then I went to Albuquerque. I really only went to Albuquerque because my stepdad, like, is from there, and so they go there. My mom and my stepdad go there like twice a year because his parents still live out there, and you know, basically he, you know, wanted me to go out there, so I was like, yeah, I guess I'll go out there, whatever. Because I didn't think there'd be anything out there, you know. I thought it was like one of those like nothing cities. Like Santa Fe, like has like such like a rich like art history that like I knew there'd be stuff to do there. And obviously like, I found like that interactive art exhibit, so I was right. But then like the only thing I know about Albuquerque is that Breaking Bad takes place there. That's it, okay? And I think Breaking Bad's good. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's amazing. I think there's a total of like 4 amazing episodes like in the whole series that are just like, you know, straight up like 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, whatever you want to call it. Alright, Duck, have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, and so I'm just like, I don't really want to go like to the Breaking Bad house. I know people talk about that. There's a car wash, like that car wash that's in the show is like an actual car wash or whatever. From my understanding, like that chicken place, the Pollo Chicken or whatever, or All Chicken Pollo, I can't remember what it's called, like in the show. It's like a set, like it's like not a real place. But yeah, so I was just like, I didn't know what else is there. And so I was just, you know, sitting there talking to my mom again, and she's, you know, told me to check out Sandia Peak. And, because I should back up, because, like, okay, so I've seen, like, the Ozarks, which are technically mountains, right? Like, but they're not, like, real mountains. Like, because, like, they're, like, gradual hills, and then, like, there's bigger hills, is, like, what it feels like when you ever go to the Ozarks. And don't get me wrong, you can go, like, to, like, valleys, like, and then, like, you know, you see, like, these, quote-unquote, mountains, like, around you. But, like, I don't know how big, like, the biggest, like, mountains are, like, in, like, the Ozarks, but, like, it's not, you don't see, like, the snow peaks, and it's not, like, the jagged mountains, like, tops that you see, like, in pictures and everything. So, like, I basically said, like, I've never seen, like, a mountain in my life, because it really feels like that, you know? So I'm sitting there driving through, like, I think it was, like, Oklahoma, maybe, like, right when I got into New Mexico, and like, I see this, like, little, what I think is a mountain, like, on, like, you know, the edge of the horizon, right? And, you know, New Mexico and, like, Oklahoma are very, very flat. And then you see this, like, mountain getting bigger and bigger, like, in the distance. And, like, when I say, like, I drove for 30 minutes, and it did not change. Like, I'm, like, not driving towards it, I'm driving, like, you know, it's, like, kind of, like, perpendicular to it. And, I drive for 30 minutes, right? And it doesn't like change like cardinal direction. Like it's like that big and like that far away. And I mistakenly thought that like you can only see like 3 miles like away, like on average, and like 7 miles on a good day. No, like you can see 300, like you can see mountaintops 300 miles away. Like I literally Googled it because I was like so confused at this point, right? And then, so I get like completely like perpendicular to this thing, and I'm just like, oh my god, a fucking like a mountain just like, you know, it was like weird though because it's just like by itself or whatever, like in the middle of nowhere. Like there's no, like I'm thinking like mountain ranges, you know. So I get out and I take a picture of it, and I'm like sitting there like looking, and like on like Google Maps about like, you know, what is this mountain, like what's its elevation. It's not even a fucking mountain, it's a caldera. And if you don't know what a caldera is, it's basically like a mountain that was like underground that like basically pushed like the earth up. So it, like, don't get me wrong, it is big, and it's like, you know, big in relativity to like the rest of the like area and everything. But it's like it's not a mountain. And I was like so completely like dumbfounded by that, because like this whole time like I'm driving for like you have to understand this is like 3 hours of driving, and I'm just sitting there like flabbergasted about this mountain, like just amazed about it, you know. And it's like a freaking caldera. So, you know, obviously, like, you know, then I actually see like real mountains, like, you know, driving towards Santa Fe. And because basically like when you're driving towards Santa Fe, you drive kind of like west/northwest, if you know like directions, like advanced directions or whatever. So instead of driving like 45 degrees northwest, you're driving like 10 degrees, 15 degrees or whatever. And yeah, then you actually see like a real mountain like in the distance, and you're driving towards it basically. You're just driving towards it for hours, and it's just getting massive and massive. And dude, it is a completely surreal experience to like see these things and like just like how like imposing they are, and just like the scale of them. Like you really do see them from like hundreds of miles away. Like it's mind blowing. So I tell that story to you know, because I told that same story to my mom, like, you know, like while I'm driving, and she's like, oh, you should go check out Sandia Peak. And I was like, okay. She's like, you can take a tram to the top of it. And I was just like, I'm thinking tram, like as in like, you know, like Amtrak or whatever, like a, you know, a train, you know. But no, like you take this like little cable car type deal, like a ski lift, and you go to the top like the Sandia Peak of this mountaintop, and you know, it's 70 degrees or so, like on the ground. You get up top and it is 30 degrees and fucking windy, like 40 mile an hour winds, and it is, oh my god, it was awesome. That's like one of those things I'm like, you know, if you really want to save money, you don't have to take that tram. I think it was like $40 to take that tram. You can hike and whatever. Technically, you can hike all the way up to the top of the mountain if you really want to, but I'm not in enough shape to do that. That was like one of my favorite things I did. Just because it was like a, you know, kind of like a stepping stone in like the whole mountain thing, you know? And so the next thing I was gonna do was go to Grand Canyon, and it was weird. I was just like, you know, it's the Grand Canyon. It's whatever, you know. Like, I've seen pictures of it. It's whatever, you know. Like, I just saw a mountain. Like, how much cooler can like the Grand Canyon be? Okay, like this is like what I'm thinking, and like I'm basically like dredging. That's probably not the right word. like slightly reluctant to go to Grand Canyon because it's like it's out of the way, right? Like it's like basically from Albuquerque, I drive straight west, like to like Las Vegas because that's like my next destination, and like on the I think it's Flagstaff. You go straight north, and to like leave the Grand Canyon, you go straight south. Like it's just like this like one road going to it and out of it or whatever. And oh my god, dude, I am so glad I went to the Grand Canyon. Like, people do not talk about the fucking scale of the Grand Canyon enough. Because like, you kind of think that like you're just like on flat land, which you are for the most part. And then, like, the Grand Canyon is kind of like an inverse mountain, which it kind of is. But it's also massive. Like, I get that it's called the Grand Canyon, right? I just never thought that it was, like, as massive as it is. Like, it is... Like, to give you an idea of how massive this is, like, there's, like, these, like, little boards, like, everywhere, right? That like give you like different information about like different parts of Grand Canyon, right? Because it's like a national park. And one of these boards sits there and talks about this flight that these birds take, going from like the south rim to the north rim, and it's like the shortest flight for them to go from like the south rim to the north rim, and it's like 11.8 miles or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but. And you can see that, like, in the distance. And it's just, like, it's Grand Canyon between those two. Like, you know, empty, like, you know, this steep drop-off, you know? And then, if that's, like, not crazy enough, so, like, you have, like, you know, like, basic one parameter of, like, how, like, big this is. Going from, they call it Desert View, which is, like, the base of the furthest east point on the south rim, all the way to Hermit's, what is it, Hermit's Cove or something like that. It's like a 40-minute drive, and you're going like, you know, 30 miles an hour like the whole time. So like, I don't know like the math on that, but it's like 20 miles, right? You know? Yeah, that sounds about right. And yeah, so I mean, just think about that for a second. So minimum 20 miles by like 12 miles. And that's 240 square miles. And like, I feel like it's actually bigger than that, you know? It's probably like 300 square miles, like, quite frankly. Like, it is fucking massive. And it's like, really cool thing about the Grand Canyon that like people don't talk about is just like you can clearly see like the different like layers of like the earth basically, because like it's like so cleanly carved out by like, you know, water over like this like long period of time that it becomes like this like beautiful like layer cake almost. And then like the way the sun hits it, like it changes like the shade of it, the color of it like so much. It's just I'm like so glad like it was like one of like the things that was like the lowest like on my list of like things that I thought was gonna be cool, and it'd be like one of like the cooler things like on my list like that, like of things I did. Like I love the Grand Canyon, and like I just like went to like the north rim was closed off, I guess, because like of fires or whatever. So like, I couldn't go like to the north rim because people always talk about how cool that is like over there. And I didn't go like the west rim because it's $90 for a day, whereas like this, because it's like owned by like this like Indian reservation or whatever. Whereas like the south rim is it's like $35 for like a week. I don't know if that's just like off-season prices or whatever, but like. And the other thing too is like there's also like a wild forest like around it. Like so if you're car camping, like you need to know that there is a huge difference between national park and a national forest. A national forest, like 99% of them, you can like park like in your car and just sleep in your car, like and camp like anywhere basically. A national park, like that is like them, like they have, you know, campgrounds that you have to pay for, and like they'll charge you, like, you know, depending on the size of your tent camping, if you're car camping, if you have like an RV, or if you have like a you know, pole camper or whatever, like they'll charge you like differently depending on all that stuff. So like 20 minutes south of the Grand Canyon, there is like there's a national forest that you can just, you know, pull off, and there's like these dirt roads. You just drive down the dirt road and you just park and, you know, camp for the night. So it's just like, it's really, really cool, like in that sense too. And I'm sure like in peak seasons, it'd be like a lot more like intense to try to find like a spot and everything. Man, like I don't know how, like I didn't drive very far like when I like went in like this forest. I basically like went like, you know, on the main road, then like went on a side road, like drove down for like a few minutes and then like parked there, you know. I wasn't gonna like sit there and drive for 30 minutes like into this area, and yeah, I just parked in there. It was awesome, and then slept for the night, and that was like literally the best I slept like the whole time, because like the road, like you can't hear cars on the road. You can hear like, you know, trucks and everything like on the road, but like barely. And it's so sparse that like I slept amazingly. I should bring that up. I know it's like kind of like, that's kind of like going like in order of like how the trip happened and everything, but so the first night was by far the worst I slept the whole week, the whole time, in that Troy, Missouri, because I slept like in a Walmart parking lot, and I had like the idea of sleeping towards the side of the store, like where, because like the Walmart closed at 11 and opened at 7, so I was like, you know, that's plenty of time for me to sleep, you know, 8 hours, like perfect, whatever. What I did not think of is like the nighttime employees, you know, the stock employees, like, you know, coming in and out for their break and their shifts and everything. And then, so I basically ran this issue like where these dudes like were like leaving for like their shift, you know, like I'm assuming like day workers or whatever, night workers, like leaving like when the store closed. And they sat there and talked, and I kid you not, for like an hour. And it was like basically this like one-sided conversation, like with those guys that who like, he, like, you know, like someone else would talk, and then he like raise his voice and like start talking faster, like to talk over him, and like, you know, like basically a very like one-sided conversation, and like you could hear like the other people being like, all right, man, I gotta get going or whatever, and then he'd like, you know, say something like again, and this like literally for like an hour, and like I swear they were talking like, I don't know, 20 feet from my car. So like this whole time I'm trying to go to sleep, and I can't because like they're talking or whatever. And so like finally like they leave, and I'm like, oh my god, thank god I can finally go to sleep or whatever, you know. You know, because I'm just like, those are the last employees like leaving the store. And then, you know, like the stalker people, you know, they get their breaks every once in a while, and this one dude, who, I swear to god, he was parked 4 spots away from me, because I literally got, like, you know, up and, like, looked, would keep going out to his, like, diesel truck and smoking in it. So, like, not only would, like, I smell the cigarette smoke, because I'm close enough to it, which was fucking awful as it was, I'd also, like, just sit there and be awake the whole time because of his truck, you know, idling so loudly. You know, I'm sure everyone's heard like diesel truck idle before. They're loud, you know. Like they're loud enough that like I've had issue sleeping in my apartment, like when someone's like idling like their diesel truck like in the parking lot with the windows closed and everything, and like a lot more sound goes through like a car door than like an apartment door and window and everything. So yeah, like literally, I don't know, every few hours I'd get like woken up, and this guy guy smoking his truck, his diesel truck. It was awful. It was awful, man. It was so awful. Then it was also like the I think the third coldest night I slept in. Which did I don't think that would have bothered me like if like the other stuff didn't happen, you know. But it's just a combination of those stuff. So this is like the first night, and I'm sitting there thinking like I'm not gonna be able to do this. Like I'm gonna have to like turn around tomorrow, and like that's gonna be like the whole trip. Like it's just gonna be like a complete failure. And I don't know like why I decided to continue going, because I was like literally convinced like after being like woken up by diesel truck dude like multiple times. That like that was it. And I think because I like slept so like well, like even like after like people like so like because I slept I don't know, it's like 8 a.m. or something like that. Like it was like past people like arriving to Walmart to like shop and everything, and somehow that didn't wake me up. So yeah, I bring that up just because, like, I had such good sleep, like, when I was, like, in that national forest south of the Grand Canyon. And, like, if I could sleep like that, like, every night in my car, I could probably, like, last, like, months, like, on the road. If I fixed the other issue of... So, like, my car... like the seats don't go flat like when you lay them down. They like the back is flat, and then like there's like a little hump basically like where like the seat is, like where the seat folds out or whatever, and then the seat has like a gradual incline to it. So, like, it's not, like, if it was flat, which I have, like, ideas, like, on how to make it flat if I ever decide to do this again, like, in this car. If I could fix that, then I do think I could, like, literally, like, live in my car if it came down to it. Like, I was, like, I'm not gonna do that, but, I could easily take, multi-month vacations in my car and be fine. So yeah, I went to the Grand Canyon, went back south, went west to Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm just gonna say this straight up: I don't like Las Vegas. The whole time I was there, I felt like the city's like actively trying to take money from me, and like not give me like a good value for that money. Like, to give you an idea, like a Red Bull at the gas station, right? If I go to the gas station right now, I can buy, like, a Red Bull, like an 8.4-ounce Red Bull or whatever it is. And they'll be, like, what, $3? All photon drop. And, I go to, like, to a bar or whatever, and, like, that bar is getting that Red Bull discounted. Because, like, they're getting, they're buying in bulk from a supplier. They're not... they're not buying it from like a Meyer or whatever and having to pay Meyer prices for trying to get like a profit. So, but like still like at that bar, that same Red Bull will be like $5, $6 or whatever, because they have to make a profit, and like there's not as much of a profit margin on a Red Bull as there is like on mixed drinks. It's just the way it is, So then, like, going to like Los Angeles, which I also went to, that same Red Bull, like at like like at Warner Bros. Lot, for example, like $10, So like it's already like a lot more expensive than like an increased price of it or whatever. Which $10 is basically the same that you're gonna pay for that Red Bull at like an NFL stadium. Like if you go to see like a Detroit Lions game or something, or like notoriously known for like overcharging for shit, right? That same Red Bull in Las Vegas is like $12. Like it's even more expensive, and it's just like it just doesn't make any sense to me. And then like on top of that, like the parking garages. Like any parking garage like I've ever been to in my life is like it'll be like it'll be like $10 for like 1 hour, $12 for 2 hours, $15 for up to 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever. And then like they have like a 24-hour, and then they have like like longer than 24-hour. The ones in Vegas like literally start at the 24-hour. Like that's like, so even if you just like need a park for a minute, so you can like run into like grab something from like your hotel or whatever, or you're just parking so you can like go get some like dinner or lunch or whatever. You're instantly paying like the 24-hour price, which is like I think it's like $25 or $35. Just like absurd, And then on top of that, if that's like not bad enough, like because I was like looking at hotels and stuff, because everyone says like, oh, you can get cheap hotels in Vegas. Those hotels do not include like the parking garage costs, even though that fucking hotel has a parking garage, like MGM Grand or whatever, like they have their own parking garage, and like if you're in that hotel, you're gonna park in that parking garage, So it's just like, and it gets cheaper, like like the longer you park or whatever, like they have like week-long parking, whatever prices. So it's just like, it's so dumb to me. Like I've never felt like a city was like trying to take money from me so actively, and like giving me like less in return. Now, that being said, I do think like I would enjoy myself if I went there and just like spent like $1,000 like in a week on food, because oh my god, like all the food like I had like there was like really good, and like there's all sorts of like different professional chefs that like I know the name of, that they have like restaurants there. It's just like a culinary area, of so I didn't even try to stay like the night like in Vegas or anything. I just ended up piecing out. I ate at Hell's Kitchen. I've watched like 15 seasons of that show. If you've ever watched that show, like, there's basically two things that, like, just iconic as far as, like, that show goes, which are, like, the beef Wellington and the lobster risotto. And I've never had risotto before. I don't know, what that life is about. I love lobster, but so I was like, I'm gonna try like that Hell's Kitchen like when I'm there. I'm fucking not gonna care about the cost because I know it's gonna be expensive, and I'm gonna get beef Wellington. And I will say like this, like it's easily top 5 meals I've ever ate in my life. But at the same time, like, I feel like I could easily, like, make it, aside from there's this, like, red sauce on there. I'm assuming it's a red wine reduction of some sort. I have no idea, like, what's in it. It's fucking amazing, though. And then I had, because that was so good, I ended up getting, like, more food, because I was just like, alright, let's fucking, if this was this good, maybe everything else is gonna be this good, right? So I got like the bread pudding or whatever, and oh my god, that was also really, really good. Like $20 fucking for that thing or whatever. I don't think it was like 20. think it's like 15. But it's like literally just like it's a small little dessert that's like I don't know, it's like 6 ounces of this like bread stuff, and then it's got like ice cream on it, and it's got like caramel and some other stuff like on there. Like it almost tastes like a bourbon caramel sauce. Really, really good though. So then I was just like, I really want to get more food, but I am like full, like at this point. So like, I end up gambling for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes or whatever. I don't know. And I was like, I'm just gonna spend $20 gambling on slots, whatever. You know, then I can officially say I gambled in Vegas. So I was playing some Game of Thrones slot. I end up like I was like $10 down, but like $20 up on it. And then like this woman comes up, sitting like a different slot behind me, and starts smoking. And I was just like, what? And I'm sitting there thinking like this like woman's like just like breaking the rules, you know, because you know that shit happens like in like Hollywood casino, like the casino in Columbus quite a bit. Like people will like light up a cigarette, just breaking the rules or whatever. And I don't really gamble much, so I should mention that too. I just did it because I was in Vegas. Anyways, so I'm just like I'm one of those people who like I actively get sick when people smoke. Like I'll get like a headache, and if I'm like around like long enough, I'll just get like nauseous, and like I'll get like very irritated like really easily. Like it just that's not a good experience. Like for me or for like the people like around me like when I'm like near smoke. So I do like what I can do to avoid it. And so I leave, and I'm like walking through this casino, and I want to say it's MGM. I'm not positive about that. It's whatever one's closest to Hell's Kitchen. And yeah, I you know, notice more people smoking too, and it's just like so the thing that like blows my mind about this is like that smoking is like on such a decline that like it's like 10% of the population smokes, like roughly, and then like so like you have 10% like the population versus like 90% already, okay? And I realize that like not everyone who doesn't smoke, you know, is adverse to smoking like I am, actively like dislikes it, you know, or like gets sick from it or whatever. But like just assume 50%, which I actually think that number is higher than 50%. Just based off like past experiences. Maybe it's like a little like glass house effect or whatever it's called. But you have like 10% of people basically ruining 40% of people's experiences. And it doesn't make any sense to me. And it's to the points like where like I even like asked like my server at like the next place I went to about it, and it's just like, oh yeah, you know, like there's one like the last few places like it's like legal, like, you know, and indoors, you know. And I was just like, are there any casinos that like, you know, you can't? And he's like, oh yeah, there's two, and he didn't know the names of them. And I was like, you know, I don't really care enough. I'm not gonna go to them. I don't even know why I fucking asked. I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking, you know. And yeah, it just I don't know. So that could also like really tarnish my experience of Las Vegas. So yeah, yeah. Then I went to I can't remember where I stayed that night, but it was between Las Vegas and Los Angeles. And the next day I went to like the Griffith Observatory at in Los Angeles. If you don't know yet what the Griffith Observatory is, it is the most popular observatory for tourists. Okay, like as in like, you know, if you're like into astrology or anything like that, like at all, they've made like all sorts of like, you know, discover all sorts of planets, all sorts of this stuff. It got really famous like in Los Angeles though because of you know, like, a lot of movies are filmed there because it's gorgeous. Like it's up on this like, you know, hillside, and you can oversee like all of Los Angeles, and you can see like the Hollywood Hills, you can see the Hollywood sign, you can see all this stuff like in Los Angeles, like, and like it's also like this really nice observatory. It's so cool. Definitely like one of my favorite things. They do these video, not video, like a presentation, like where they basically have this like, it's almost like the Sphere, like out in Vegas. I forgot about that story. It's like the Sphere, like out in Vegas, like where you're basically leaning back and like looking up, and like there's this huge. I don't know if it's like a video or if it's just like a wall with like light projected onto it, and they sit there and tell you stories, and yeah, I'm sitting there thinking like it's gonna like a movie or whatever, but no, they have like a real life actor, like, you know, basically acting out like this narration, and the actor I got for like both the presentations I went to was Susan Ford, which, I mean, you can look her up on IMDb. Like she's been in quite a few things. She's not like a no-name actor. She's definitely like, you know, like a lesser-known actor, but it was like, it's really cool. And when she's like 5 feet away from me, just narrating this experience about life on other planets, and like that was like one, and then like the other one was about like the observable universe, and like basically how like we, you know, you used to think that we were like, you know, like the center of the universe, and obviously we know now that we're not. But both really cool experiences, and like to hammer home the point about like Las Vegas, like all this, like the shows like in Las Vegas, like over half of them like were burlesque shows. First of all, second of all, like a lot of them are comedies and everything, but like they're all like $100. Like any given show that's like decently rated is like $100, and for like, you know, 2 hours, 3 hours of entertainment or whatever, which I'm fine with paying, but like I don't know, I just don't really get like the idea of a burlesque show, I guess. Like, okay, they're tantalizing, they're adult humor, okay, I can watch Netflix, you know? I can watch HBO. And then people are like, you know, like, oh no, it's about like the smut or whatever, and it's just like, okay, well, I have like the internet, like, guess what, you know, there's quote-unquote porn on the internet. I don't need to be tantalized. I can go to a gentleman's club, you know? Just, I don't get it, you know. I'm sure, like, I'd enjoy it, like, if I went and everything, but it just... I just don't... I was like, already in the mindset of getting the fuck out of Vegas, too, at that point. That, like, I just didn't want to stay, like, any, like, longer, I guess, too. So yeah, like, and so like those two shows I went to, like at the Griffith Observatory, like you can just straight up walk in the Griffith Observatory for free. It is completely free to go in there, like, and like look at like all the exhibits, the whole museum, all that stuff is free. You don't pay for parking, nothing. And then those shows were $10 each, and they're like, I don't know, 40 minutes each. Like, it is such a good value for like what you're getting. And if you're like ever out in California, I 100% recommend that. I can recommend that to anyone. Unless, like, I guess, like, you're like one of those people who thinks like the Earth is, 2,000 years old, or 5,000 years old. I don't even know what Christians believe anymore. Monotheists believe anymore. So yeah, I got a picture with the James Dean Memorial too. So from there, I actually ended up getting a hotel like that night because I was just like, this is kind of like I've been on the road for like a week at this point, and I was kind of feeling it, and plus like. So Griffith Observatory is up on a hill, and like unless you get there like early AF, you have to like park at the bottom of the hill and like walk up or shuttle up. And I didn't know about the shuttle, so I started walking, and it's like literally like walking a mile at like a 40-degree incline. It is intense. Maybe not 40-degree incline. I don't know. I'm not good with inclines. It was steep. I'll put it that way. So yeah, it was. I was exhausted, to put it like lightly. And then I was there like literally like 8 hours, I think. I was there from. Dude, it had to be like 9 a.m. to like past sunset. So, I'm getting a hotel in Los Angeles, partly because I wanted to do like the tour as well, and I knew like that I was like worried about having to park somewhere and walk like far away, and I was like worried about like if I want to do something else. So I was just like, oh, I can get a hotel and I can just like leave my car parked at the hotel, And so my idea, there's a disc golf course in Pasadena, which is like a little like suburb of LA that I want to play as well. It's called Oak Grove. It's the first permanent disc golf course in the world, as in like they put baskets in the ground. Before that, most disc golf courses were what they call object golf, like where you basically picked an object and like you try to get to that object, and sometimes like back to like your starting point. And so like Oak Grove is the first like one like where they put like the baskets in like that, catch your disc like to quote unquote finish the hole. So just because the history of it, I had to play it, So my idea was like to do like the Warner Bros. Tour and then go play like that course. And yeah, it was so I got a hotel and was able to park and everything. And then I ended up like, because I didn't want to eat at the Warner Bros. lot because like a lot of those tourist places like they don't have good food. Like if you've ever like been to like Disney, for example, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like a lot of the food at Disney is very hit or miss, and like all of it's overpriced. Like even though the good stuff is like, it's really hard to find something that's like tastes good, is like pretty filling, and is like a good price, So yeah, I went to. I did eat at the Griffith Observatory. I had because I was like there the whole day. Like there's like no way I was like not gonna eat. And I had like a cinnamon roll that was like, it says like made by like Wolfgang Puck, like the like his catering or whatever. Just like another like big chef name if you're unaware. And it was really good, and it was like decently priced. So I was just like, you know what? Like after that, like maybe I should just eat at like the Warner Bros. Lot. And they have this. I can't get the name of it because like I'm not like a huge Friends nerd, but like the like the cafe like in Friends, they have like a recreation of that on the Warner Bros. Like a lot that you can eat at. That's it's not bad, you know, for like what it is. And then like it's so yeah, I kind of like solved that issue, I guess. Oh, that's the other thing. Oh my god, I completely forgot to mention this. Before this, I ate an In-N-Out burger, and you know, people talk about In-N-Out burger, right? And it's one of those things like where like you kind of like inflate it in your head, you know? You're like, there's no way it can be as good as people like. You know, people are just hyping it up because hey, is that another red sword? Aww, Photondra. But dude, it's good. It is like, it's by far my favorite fast food burger. I'll put it that way. I ended up eating it 3 times the whole time I was on vacation, and I'm just like, I don't know what to order. You know, I bought a 24 pack of water, and like that's like what I was drinking, so I didn't have to like worry about like getting a drink or anything. But like so I like looked online and people call it animal style, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, so I'm just gonna get it, you know. I'm gonna get some fries, and I'm gonna get a burger, and I'm gonna get the burger animal style. So yeah, like I don't know like what the sauce is. I think like that animal style they go like a little too heavy on sauce, but like the burger is delicious. Like it, I want to say it's like a mixture between like Wendy's and Burger King if you've had like those two, like where it's like, it's just like a good tasting burger, and like the ingredients like are like they're definitely fresher than like most places are. But like the burger itself, I'd say like if you combine like the Wendy's little, I don't know how they cook. I think they put it like on a flat top, whereas like Burger King they grill it. You know, it definitely tastes like a mixture between the two. It's definitely not like steamed. Like it's not like White Castle. And White Castle tastes like pure onions anyways. I think they steam theirs like with like onion or something. I don't know. Regardless, yeah, really good. I will say like the fries were like a bit jarring at first, and I couldn't like figure out like why. They said like a kind of like a peculiar texture to them, and I come to find out they deep fry them in sunflower oil. So that's like why, like because like most places they use canola oil or olive oil. I'm assuming the sunflower oil is like healthier. I mean, I have no idea for sure. But like it's like the second time I got it, like I kind of like craved that taste too. So I think it's just like just because it's like the first time I'm having that, like I thought it was like weird. It's definitely something you like after a minute. But the second time I got animal style like on the fries, and like that's like a $2 upcharge. I don't think it's worth it. Just get the fries plain, put the animal style in the burger, and I got the burger plain just so I could taste the burger better. So the third time, which will be my order going forward. Oh, the other thing with animal style is like they mustard. Like they cooked like the bun like on like this flat top, I'm assuming, with mustard, so it gives like a little bit of like that mustard flavor. Yeah, no, it's really good though. So yeah, like my go-to order now, I'm sure I'll go back there if I ever see one again. It's gonna be like a burger, a double, animal style, but light sauce. and then fries. And I'll probably try like a milkshake, because they have milkshakes too, like next time I'm there. Another thing too, it's like $8 for like animal style burger and fries. So it's cheaper than McDonald's is now. Like, it kills me, man. Like, I will consistently say that, like, I think McDonald's is like one of like the most overrated fast food places. Like, it blows my mind that they consistently get like, you know, like I mean, I think they're the second most popular restaurant in the world now, behind Subway. Which Subway is also pretty garbage, but I don't know. It's weird to me. It's weird to me that they can be like, so expensive, so mediocre, and still be so popular. Because they're not bad, you know. Just mediocre. So yeah, that Wonder Bros. 2 is really cool. It kind of like humanizes like actors like a lot more. Like, I get like actors are real people, like normal people, right? Just like doing something and then getting like overpaid for it, basically. But like, so many people put them up on this like this pedestal of like being like basically deities, you know? And like they worship them, and like everything they fucking do and wear and say is just critiqued and critiqued and critiqued. And like some like people will defend like the most absurd behavior just because it's a celebrity that they find attractive, or like they like their work or whatever, you know. But it's like. And then you like realize like how like fake movies are. Like, I mean, obviously movies are fake, right? Like everyone knows this, but like okay, one of my favorite movies ever is La La Land. Okay, in La La Land, they go through like the Warner Bros. Tour like on a date, right? You cannot do this. It's not possible to do this, okay? Unless you work on like the Warner Bros. Lot, like they're not gonna like you just like walk around willy-nilly like that, okay? And then there's so I guess she does like work on the Warner Bros. Lot because she works at this like coffee shop, right? So that's like why that like exists. But I'm sure like even then like they wouldn't like let her like roam freely like she is, like if she's like just working at a coffee place, because there is a Starbucks like inside of like the coffee lot, right? Yeah, like, it's funny because, you know, my normal Starbucks order in Columbus now is like $6.75 or some shit like that. They keep like raising the price of it. In Los Angeles is like just under $10. And I was just like, I kind of expect it to be more. Like, when I say Los Angeles, I mean LA, Los Angeles, you know? Like, this is as LA, or as Hollywood as you can be, as Los Angeles as you can be. The Warner Bros. Lot. And, anyways, I got off a little side track. So, like the end of this, like the part of the movie is like that she works like in a coffee shop, right? Like on the Rose Lot. And I'm just like sitting there thinking, I was like, why would they fake the coffee shop being Warner Bros. Lot? I guarantee like these actors and actresses and, you know, crew are going to be drinking coffee. Like, it just. And, like, why would they have a Starbucks? Like, why would they not have, like, their own coffee shop? Like, where they can dictate prices for their employees and everything. It'd make a lot more sense to me. Have, like, better quality coffee at Starbucks. You know, for, like, the coffee snobs. And, yeah, no, it's fake. I would, like, literally, because, like, you know, the tour guides asked me what everyone's favorite movies are, and, you know, I brought that up. You know, La La Land being, you know, one of my favorites, and he's like, oh, I got stuff to show you for La La Land, and yeah, we go in this like there's this like little like if you know anything about movie making, there's like basically 3 different types of buildings that they use for like movies. There's like face only, and then there's like basically face only, like with like a small entranceway, and then there's like full, you know, sets that you can like walk into and everything. So we walked into the set like where like the location like where they had that coffee shop built for La La Land, and it's really, really cool. But it's just like it's one of those things like why do they need to fake that? You know, I don't know. Whoa, he's alive. Yeah, I've been alive. He's talked to me on Discord. I've been recovering from my trip. How's it going? I figured one of us needs to stream, and if it's not gonna be you, it's gotta be me, right? Got him. But yeah, no, yeah, so like the tour is really cool and everything. It really makes like want to go back and like watch like a lot of like the older, like the classics, because I've watched like a lot of like a lot of movies, right? Like, but like there's like basically anything black and white, like that's like it's just like a huge gap like in like my movie knowledge, right? And like I know like a lot about those movies. Like I know who James Dean is, obviously. I know who Betty Davis is. Like I know like these greats, you know. Prove it. You know, actually, like in California, they celebrate February 29th out there every year. So. No, I'm just joking. That'd be funny as hell. That'd fuck up, like, calendars so bad. So, funny story about that. Like, I went to, like, dinner last night with my mom and stepdad, and he's just like, oh, you know, what are you, turning 40 this year? And I'm just like, yep, 40 years old, that's it. And I just, like, let him believe that. So far. Guys, come on, please. Did you do anything for your birthday? I was out of town. I didn't even think about sending you a happy birthday or anything. Birthdays are like pretty like lame, like when like the older you get. Like, you know, I went out to like eat like for my birthday, and like the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, why are we out to eat, man? I just wish I would have like went, picked this up, and brought it home, and fucking went back to being on my computer or whatever. And then like I shaved, like I clean shaved for like the first time in forever, and I'm just like, I look younger right now than I do like 5 years ago, like with scruff on my face. So like, I don't know. It's just, and plus like I actually like use like lotion on my face and everything now, so my skin's like not always fucking dry. I don't know. I feel healthier than I did 5 years ago. But then again, that was like the whole like sleep apnea thing. But yeah, one of the coolest things too, like on like the Warner Bros. Tour, we went to like the prop area, and like I was like laughing so hard because they're like Yeah, you can take pictures of whatever you want. Just don't take pictures of like the tags, because like they put these tags on there to reserve, prompts that they want to use for like the upcoming, movies or like TV shows or whatever. And like, I was like, of course I kept like looking at the tags, seeing like what they were, and like, dude, I swear to God, like half the tags I saw were just for I can't think of the name of that fucking TV show now. The For All Mankind on Apple TV. Like that was like literally like half the tags were used for that. And then there's like a lot of them, like, because like they all have like production names, so like so like what they're actually working on like isn't like leaking or whatever. And so I kept seeing Echoes. Like that was like one that like I kept seeing like over and over. So I don't know like what that's about, but there's a little industry secret for you. There's a production name of Echoes on the Warner Bros. Lot right now. Like they had like the little cracked out squirrels though from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, like the Johnny Depp version. I thought that was cool. They had like the Game of Thrones chair, which is funny because like the Game of Thrones chair, like they've got like a tag on it, basically being like, hey, like this is just being stored here. You can't actually use this. Like, don't even try to use it. Like, it's just like, okay, like why not put this like in a museum somewhere or something? It's pretty cool. Just like the amount of, like random shit that Always Sunny like had like a lot of stuff too. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like there was like 6 different TV shows that are like on like multiple season shows that had like basically custom tags so they could tag stuff easier. But Always Sunny was like one of them, and For All Mankind was one, and I can't think of like the other one. We went like on like the actual set, like where they filmed like the Jennifer Hudson show. I've never watched that show, but it's like a talk show, I guess. And I was just like of all the things I was like surprised about, like the amount of lights was just mind blowing. Like on that, it was really cool. And then like they I'm sure it's just like her, like the Jennifer Hudson girl, but like she had like a bunch of like positivity messages like all over, like you deserve this and stuff like that. Like that's kind of cool. And they basically were sitting there talking about how like their job isn't just like to make like the hosts like look good and like the guests look good, but like all like the people like in the audience, like they want them to look good too, because it's like the idea about making the show better than it is. Like they want you to be like, oh, look at all those beautiful people in the crowd, I want to be in that crowd or whatever. I thought that was kind of cool. I got to sit like on the friend's couch. Again, like I'm not a huge fan of the show. I just thought that was cool though. And it's like they I guess like they had like repair it like at one point, so like the bottom of it is not like the same. It's like not like a couch bottom anymore. It's fiberglass. So like if you sit on it hard enough, you could theoretically break it. It's not the right way. What am I doing? They have like literally copy, like, because like like when they make a movie, like they have like multiple copies of like all the different costumes. So they literally have like all the different Batman ones in there, like in like their museum. They have like the old school Batmobile from like the 1989 Batman movie, and then they have like the Bat Tumbler from like the Dark Knight. It's like, I don't know, like all that stuff is so cool to me. There's like the Wonder Woman costume, like both from like the Wonder Woman and from 1984. 1984? I can't remember what year the second one is. Anyways, So that was like really cool. I wish they had like more for like Watchmen, because I really like the Watchmen like movie. But like literally the only thing for Watchmen that they had is they had this little like interactive exhibit, like where you could like turn this knob and you could like slide through like these like different scenes. And you could like see them like in different stages of like production. So like you'd see like, you know, basically like the the first shot of the scene that they had like in like the for like Watchmen was like where Night Owl jumped out of the I can't remember the ship now. He's jumping out of the little ship, whatever it's called. Into the street, like right before he's sitting there talking to the comedian, breaking up like a little protest. And like it's like literally just like him in front of a green screen with like wires on them, and then like the next one is like they remove like the wires, and then the next one they had the cape, and then like the next one they had like a layer of like the background, and like the next one like they had like more layer of the background, and the next one like they had like the background completed, and then like they had like a little like dirt effect basically to like his like landing. It's really cool looking though. Then there's like one like little interactive like exhibit like where you could pick a scene from Matrix or Harry Potter, and like they'd give you your lines and you have to like read the lines over. Did that guy not spawn? There's supposed to be a guy that spawns here. Might have spawned, I just didn't see it. Second. Yeah, so I picked like the Matrix, like the scene like where he does like, the red pill, blue pill, like with like Neo. And I was like, like Lawrence Fishburne has like a very like unique voice and like a very iconic voice. And then like I was sitting there trying to like, basically deepen my voice. I thought that was like kind of cool. I have a video of it. Like I said, I'm probably gonna at some point, probably not this stream, but I'll go through like all like the pictures and everything that I took. I meant to tell you, I post like all the pictures on my Facebook, Cad Bane, and they're public, so even if you you don't want to friend request me because you're weird, you can just like look at them. Just peep on my Facebook. What else? Oh, I did like the sorting hat thing. I got Gryffindor. I was really like bummed out about getting Gryffindor, because like one, I know for a fact I'm Slytherin, okay? Like it's just like I know for a fact, okay? And then two, I basically accept anything other than a Gryffindor, because like I think Gryffindor is like the thing I connect with like the least, because it's like all about like outgoing, extroverted people. It feels like charismatic people, and like it's like that's not me, Like it's like I'm usually like between like Ravenclaw and like Slytherin, like on like every single other like Harry Potter personality test I've ever done in my life. So I feel like Hufflepuffs are like like the comics, like the comedians or whatever, like the class clown and all that stuff. I don't know. Also, fuck J.K. Rowling. I hope she goes to fucking jail. She's clearly fucking, you know, done some bad shit in regards to the Epstein files. Fuck TERFs. Yada yada yada. I really wish I could, like, throw Harry Potter away, like so many people have done. I just don't understand, like, how they can do that, because it has such, like, a huge, like, cultural, like, relevance. Like, it's not like it's, like, you know, people always, like, bring up the conversation, like, with like, musicians, about, like, when, like, you know, they do something bad, like, you know, separating the art from the artist and everything. But, like, it's like a step further than that, because, like, I'm not even, like, a huge, like, fan of her books, you know? It's like I'm a fan of, like, the movies, so it's like, do I just say fuck, like, the thousands of other people who worked on those movies that have, like, since spoken out against her, you know? Like, it just seems, like, weird to me. Like, basically, everyone's, like, spoken out against her except for, like, Draco Malfoy, you know? And even, like, what Draco Malfoy, like, that actor said was, like, not for J.K. Rowling. It just, like, wasn't against J.K. Rowling. And also, like, that Hogwarts Legacy game, like, is good. Like, you know, like, when you think about, like, open world magic-based games, like, you can take off the Harry Potter coat and it'd still be, like, a decent game, I think. Anyways, little side tangent. Oh, that's another thing too. So they had, like, the Superman costumes, and, like, they didn't have, like, the Superman costume from, like, the newest movie, and then, like, there was, like, a note on there being, like, currently in use or whatever. Like, the same, like, you know, like, tags you'd see, like, on, like, the production stuff was, like, on there. I kind of, like, laugh about that. You know, everyone knows that they're making, like, you know, more Superman stuff. It's just, I had to, like, laugh about that. I completely forgot, before going to Los Angeles, before going to... wait, was it between? I can't remember. No, it was before Las Vegas. I went to the Hoover Dam. Which, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was going to be kind of, like, lame. It was pretty cool. It wasn't, like, crazy cool. It is cool, though. I did, like, the expensive tour there where you get to go through, like, the tunnels and stuff like that and see out the vents. I didn't realize how thick it was. And also, like... like, how big of a deal it was, like, for, like, the nation. I feel like we don't, like, get stuff like that happen, like, anymore. Like, we're, like, literally people from, like, all the states came and, like, worked on this thing. All the 48 states, you know. And it was, like, kind of like a socialist thing, too, because, like, they basically got, like, materials from, like, every state, too. But, like, there's two things like that I really took away from that. Is, like, one, because it was, like, a union, which I was, like, laugh about, that, like, worked on this thing. Part of their union contract was that they got paid for the commute to work. Which is, like, you know, it gets brought up quite a bit, like, for, like, workers' rights nowadays, that, like, you know, a lot of these companies, like, they build these offices, like, downtown, where, like, rent is, like, $3,000 a month, and their employees can't afford it, so they have to, like, live, like, you know, outside of town, you know, 30 minutes away or whatever. And it's just, like, you know, they should probably be paid for that commute time, you know? Or conversely, like, you know, like there's companies that, like, you know, have like, their places like in the middle of fucking nowhere, and same thing, like they like live like in like a little city or town next to that middle of nowhere, and they still commute 30 minutes. So, you know, back in like 1950, they had that. The other amusing thing is they, like, the energy distribution for like the Hoover Dam was based off of population percentages at the time between the 4 states, California, and New Mexico, Nevada, and Wyoming. 4 states? 5 states. I think that's for Colorado's supposed to be in there too. But anyways, Wyoming had like the largest population of those states at the time. And Wyoming is the one like the population grew like the least amount of those states, so they just got royally fucked about that. Like the lost Nevada in particular, you know, like Las Vegas obviously fucking blew up like mad. I know like your message is a little bit old at this point, but it doesn't matter if you're banned from Facebook. If it's a public link, you can still see it. You just like don't like log into Facebook. Anyways. Another amusing thing, because I drive like I said it before, 2024 Honda Civic hatchback. It's like in the boost blue color, like that bright blue like color. Like, I thought these things were like super popular because I see them constantly in Columbus. Like, if I go out just like on like a little short like errand trip and I'm like, you know, driving for like 30 minutes, I'll see like one every 10 minutes or so. I did not see a single one since leaving Dayton until the Hoover Dam. And the one I saw at the Hoover Dam was in the employee parking lot. Like, they weren't even driving, you know? So I took a picture of that. And like, I ended up seeing like 2 more like on the trip. So I saw 3 the whole time in 2 weeks. I saw 3. I don't know, I find that amusing. But I do know that those cars are put together in Marysville, which is just outside of Columbus. But it's still amusing to me, you know? So yeah, Los Angeles, Warner Bros. I think that's everything about Warner Bros. They had like a weird lack of Game of Thrones merch as well. I'm assuming that has like something to do with like George R. R. Martin, like the partnership or whatever. But I was like, Warner Bros. Owns HBO, so I just assume there'd be like a lot more of that. The other thing too, I didn't think it was like a huge deal, but he kept bringing up like multiple times that like the Warner Bros. Like lot is like the only open lot like left like in like the world. So like they actually like, rent those like studios out, like those like lots out. It's like if any other company wants to use it. So like, you know, theoretically, if A24 wants to shoot like a movie and it's like a single setting movie, they can like print one of those out and like use it and everything. They had the costumes from like Sinners there. I thought that was kind of cool, and Crazy Rich Asians. Minecraft, Big Bang Theory, Friends. So yeah, from Los Angeles, I went to Santa Barbara. If I was gonna live anywhere that like I was on vacation to, like I think it'd be Santa Barbara. Mostly because it's just like in the perfect spot between like LA, like you're close enough to LA, like in a good you can do a day trip or whatever. And then like do like a weekend trip to San Francisco. So I think it's kind of like it's in that perfect area, and obviously you're on the beach too and everything. Oh, I completely forgot. Yeah, no, I went to that disc golf course, that Oak Grove. It's alright. I mentioned earlier, like, the only reason I was going to go there is because it's, like, the first permanent course, like, in the world. It's kind of annoying because, like, it also kind of got ruined because it was, like, in a tournament, like, layout. I actually didn't know this. But, like, so I went there Friday evening. I probably got there, like, 4:30-ish or whatever. And, yeah, like, they just finished up round 1 of the Wintertime Classic Open, which there's actually coverage of on YouTube. Like, on the Disconnected channel. But yeah, like, a lot of pros there. Like, Drew Gibson was there, Dallas Garber. Those are probably, like, the 2 biggest names I can think of off the top of my head. Oh, Andrew Miranda. Yeah, so like they I don't know, they combined like a few holes and like they had some like weird pin positions like that they don't normally have, I guess. I stopped on Guy about it, and then I encountered 2 different groups of 6 that would not let me fucking play through until I basically forced my way through. And because like I'm just like I'm not gonna be able to finish if you guys like don't let me fucking play through. And one group was like fucking drunk as shit. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna act like I'm part of the group and go up there and throw, and then like run ahead to my disc. Well, because like dude, they were taking so like it wasn't like they were just like an 8 group. It's like they were an 8 group and they'd sit there and take like fucking 2 minutes per fucking throw, you know? So it was like worst of both worlds. The second group just like let me play through, but the first one was a fucking dicks about it. I literally sat on like 2 different holes for like, I don't know, 15 minutes each. And then like there's like these like back holes like where you can see there's like a NASA facility back there, I guess, like where I don't know how true it is, but like on that coverage of that Wintertime Open I was telling you about, they're saying like that's like where they control like the Mars rover. So I don't know how true that is, but it's like making a joke. It sounded like they were serious, but you never know. Could be like an inside joke. But like the holes they can see that on, like they smell really fucking weird. Like they smell like heavily of like deer piss. That's the best way I can describe it. So yeah, from there I went like west to, they call it East Beach. Because I was just like, I swim in the ocean on like the East Coast. Let's go swim in the ocean on the West Coast. Different oceans too, I guess. But because it's like I said, it was like 70 like the whole time I was there, and I'm just like, I've swum like Superior before, so plenty warm for me to swim. And like the water was actually like fairly warm, like a lot warmer than I expected it to be. And I'm sitting there like the waves were kind of crazy though, like for like what I was expecting. And yeah, like Dude, I was just like swimming for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Like, I wasn't like really diving down or anything, but like the waves were going over my head. So like, you know, like just, you know, enjoying myself. And then like wave goes over my head, and I look to like to the side of me, and there's a fucking sea lion, like 10 feet from me. And I freaked out. I was like, oh shit, I ain't fucking gonna die. Cause I don't know how fucking dangerous those things are. Like, and yeah, I looked it up like later, and it's just like. Yeah, like, no, they're very, like, them attacking humans is really fucking rare. And then, like, basically they only do it, like, during mating season, which it's not even close to mating season for them, I guess. Or if you are, like pissing them off somehow. So they got, like, it's probably more curious than anything, but, like, just, like, one, the fact that it basically snuck up on me. And then two, like... I've never seen one that close before in my life. This kind of jump scared me. And I was just like, whatever. You know, I'll go, like, once like I read that, I'm just like, I'll go swimming further up the coast or whatever. I didn't realize, like, the waves, like, get, like, worse, like, the further up the coast you go. Or at least, like, they did, like, in my experience. And then on top of that, like, I ended up, like, not being by, like, any actual beaches. When I got like too much further up, like north. Yeah, so I didn't really do anything in Santa Barbara. I just kind of like slept in Santa Barbara, and it's kind of like a middle point of the trip, I guess. I think where. Oh yeah, so. I was heading to Santa Cruz next. That was like my next like destination, and because there's a disc golf course there called De La Viega, and another iconic course in the disc golf world. There's a term called getting delad, which is like where your disc, like where you'll miss like a putt or whatever, and your disc will get up and roll, and like you'll be 100 feet away from like the basket or whatever, even though you like land like right by the basket. It comes from like De La Viega, so I was like, I gotta go play this course too. And plus, this is a course that's like aged really well over time, and it's like I think it's like been on the national tour like the most out of like any course ever. So I was just like, yeah, like let's go check this course out too, you know. On the way to Santa Cruz, I like had like a take a leak, so I should just like stopped like a solid road or whatever, like in retrospect, but like whatever reason, like it's different like driving like out west than it is like in like the Midwest, because like the Midwest there's constantly gas stations like right off the highway, like every like 10 miles or whatever, you know. You never like run out of risk of like running out of gas or like, you know, not having a restroom or whatever. But there's like barely any fucking rest stops like out like west. There's barely any like gas stations, you know. So like I end up like seeing like a sign, you know, saying like, you know, services like next exit or whatever. So I was like, all right, well, we'll take this exit. And it was just this little beach town. I can't think of the name of it. It's called like Caracus or something like that. starts with the C. I'm sure I could find it, like, if I, like, brought up maps real quick, but... yeah, so, like, like, the gas station is, like, a mile off this road, and my range is at 0 at this... at our gas station. Like, I'm, like, literally fucking, like, it hurts from, like, holding, like, at this point. Like, I had to go so bad. And, so I stop at this gas station, which is, like, over full, and, you know, people are just kind of parked like dicks there. There's no fucking restroom in there. And I was like, dude, I gotta use the fucking restroom so bad, bro. And then, like, I'm sitting there, like, looking, there's, like, all these, like, little small, like, little, like, hole-in-the-wall restaurants and everything, but then there's, like, a public beach restroom. And, like, the closest park I could find to that is, like, I don't know, 100 yards away. And I'm, like, literally, like sweating because I have to go so bad, which I guess is a thing. And then, like, I'm sitting there, like half, like, I would have, like, ran if I didn't think that, like, the extra bouncing of me running would have, like, caused me to, like, literally piss myself. So, it was just a mess, like, all around, you know? But yeah. So, like, I'm just like, whatever, I'm parked here, I'm stopped at, like, this little town, let's, like, look around for a little bit. There's just a little nice, like, little beach town, and I'm just, like, looking, I'm just like, you know, I'm kind of hungry, let's get some food. And, there's this place, and, all they sell is blue waffles. They sell sweet blue waffles and savory blue waffles. And, they like a churro waffle, blue waffle, and I was like, dude, that sounds amazing. But I didn't really eat that good, like, when I was in LA, like, you know, as far as, like, healthiness goes, so I was like, let's get something healthier. And, I'm, like, sitting there, like, looking, and... they had this, I can't remember what it was called, but it was, like a cowboy goose something, blue waffle, so I got that, and dude, it was like $20, and I was like, this is like the, like, price point wise, like, that was the best thing I ate, like, all fucking trip, like for $20, like, this is like a 96 out of 100 meal, like, whereas, like, that, that beef Wellington, I would say it's like a 98 out of 100, to give you an idea. Like, it's barely worse than that, but, like, a fucking quarter of the price, you know? So, like, if people ask me for, like, for a recommendation between the two, like, I'd 100% recommend the blue waffle over that. And it was, like, to the point, too, like, where I was just like, man, like, I really wish I would've got, like, the other one, too. But I was just, like, you know, eating in my car, and, I didn't really want to stay there because I was, like, trying to get to Santa Cruz or whatever. But I was like, that, dude, oh my god, it's so good. It is basically... this is a disc golf channel. I'm not even talking about disc golf right now. Talking about fucking food, bro. Who doesn't like food? Huh? Anyways. So yeah, before I so rudely interrupted. I'll wait for his ad. Yeah, but the way you said it, it's like traveling for disc golf, which, I mean, technically I was traveling for disc golf, but I was also traveling for, like, non-disc golf. Anyways, so yeah, whatever reason, like, I'm just like, I gotta get to Santa Cruz. Like, that was, like, my next, like, destination, and because I really wish I would have stayed, like, more time there. I should also know I got these, like, brown butter cookies there, which were, I mean, they're fine. They're nothing great. And, also, like, this is, like, the point, like, where, like, technically, like, I'm about to be, like, on, like, the west coast of California, the coastal highway of California, and that was, like, literally, like, the whole purpose of this trip, okay, is, like, to hit this, and, oh my, like, the coastal highway, like, the State Route 1 of California is everything I hoped it would be. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous. it's it's basically like the Grand Canyon, but like there's like water, you know. And like I love water, you know, like I love to swim. Like it just, I think like the water is like visually pleasing. Like it's like there's very little water at the Grand Canyon. Like there's like a small little like, river called the Colorado River, but you can barely see from like some viewpoints. And then like it's so green too, like the coastal highway of California is, because like it's probably just like because like the season. Yeah, I picked the right season. But there's like 10 different like as a green, like you, because they have like these signs just like they do at the Grand Canyon, like explaining like different things about it. And there's like literally like 10 different ecosystems going on because of like the elevation change and like the amount of like humidity and like how like where, like, the sunlight hits and all that stuff. So it ends up being like all these different types of trees, all these different like rock formations. Like it is absolutely gorgeous, and it's just like the Grand Canyon, like where there's like all these like different viewpoints. Like I think they call them vistas out there in California, but that like there's literally like spots like, that they're designed for you to pull over and just kind of like take in like the view, and like it looks just like the Grand Canyon. Like it looks like completely different from each of these vistas. And it's like the other thing too is like the Grand Canyon. Like I sit there and talk about it being like, you know, like 300 square miles, not feet, and like, you know, kind of like a rectangular shape. The coastal highway is just, you know, like a line going straight up like the side of California, and it's like, dude, it's got to be like 800 miles like long. It is so long. And it just keeps going and going, and like there's parts like where you're like just going up this like very steep incline, and like on this like windy ass road, and there's no guardrail, and it's just like it is like the most enjoyable drive like I've had in my like life, like in my car, you know, because I'm just doing this in my Civic. I'd probably be terrified. Like it's, if I was like in a truck, like a semi truck, like I'd be terrified. Just like all the ups and downs and like left and rights, and just like there's like constant like basically U-turns, you know, like you're going downhill, then you do a fucking U-turn at the bottom of the hill. And yeah, I loved it. It was 100% worth it. Like that, like it was weird too, because like after seeing the Grand Canyon, I thought like my experience of that would like be like diminished, you know. But it was like different, like enough that like it was like almost a completely different experience. I loved it. I can't express like that enough. Like loved it. I don't really have like any like interesting stories of it. I'm sitting there trying to think. You know, you're basically just driving from like the you know, like one vista to the next vista and pulling over and go to the next thing. I should note, I guess, that you have zero cell phone service for like 90% of like the West Coast. It's just like you are like it's like weird too, because it's not like, you know, there's like no one out there. Like this was on a Saturday, so like it was like busy. Like there was a bunch of tourists. It's not like people go here, you know. Like it's not like I was just like the only person there or whatever, you know. I think that's like the one thing too about like, I guess like the Grand Canyon and like that. Like I kind of do wish I was there like on the weekdays, just like, you know, like less people there. Like there wasn't like enough people like to bother me like at the Grand Canyon, or like the Coastal Highway. But like it was like the Coastal Highway it was like close to like, and this is like off season. Like I could easily see this like being like way too busy like in like the summer, like on the weekdays or in the weekends. Like definitely like the some of the more popular spots, because there's like there's a waterfall that's I guess super popular. I got a picture with, but they had like the path to it closed down, so it wasn't like as like if I wasn't as busy as it normally is like in that, like people like actually hiking the trail like the waterfall and everything. Absolutely gorgeous, though. I highly recommend going out there. This is gonna be my last run, by the way. I got stuff I gotta do. I just realized. Probably like 10 more minutes or whatever. I would say I'll stream tomorrow, but I have a doctor's appointment, so maybe after the doctor's appointment I'll stream tomorrow. I don't know. Depends how I feel, I guess. Because I got poisoned oak really bad at that De La Viega course. And I've been through like the whole prescription of prednisone now, and I still have it. And I've been like using steroid cream too. Like on it, like, cause like, I don't know if you're supposed to use those both at the same time or not, but like, I was like 4 days deep into like the prednisone, and usually it's like almost gone at that point. Like the poison ivy slash sumac slash oak is almost gone at that point, and this time like it wasn't, so I was like kind of freaking out. And now it's been 11 days now, and it's still not gone. Not 11. 15 days. 17 days. I don't know what the fuck that is, Bill. Also, I don't know what. I mean, I wouldn't mind co-streaming like tomorrow or whatever, but it's not happening today. I'll tell you that much. A Pal World like with better combat. Ugh. What's wrong with Pal World with combat? Also, why don't we just play Pal World? I have like 50 hours in that game. Pal World's meant, or Guardians is? Pal World's good, man. You're just a noob. How come you, yeah, that's... No shit, it's a creature collector. What do you think fucking Pokemon is? You say that like it's a bad thing. It's like, I'm sorry that I want to collect adorable creatures in my game that's supposed to be Pokemon with guns. Pokemon the RTS with guns. Not RTS, survival crafting. They need to like make like a quicker acronym for survival crafting. Open world survival crafting. OSA. That's terrible. OSA. So it sounds like I should play Pal World instead. Oh, time drop. You know what game does better combat than both those games? Phantasy Star Online. There's melee combat in Pal World. Also, why don't you get Soulframe? Gibbs is playing Soulframe as well. Now we play that like every once in a while instead of playing Monster Hunter now, because Monster Hunter is like more or less like in maintenance mode until the expansion comes out next year. And it's not like we're like 100% done with You know what game I really want to play? Like, that I've like watched like quite a few videos on that like I think like there's like no way it like lives up to the hype, but like I still want to play it. Crimson Desert. If they can make like a... Dude, I've said this before, but the only way I'm going back to World of Warcraft is if they do Classic Plus. That's the only way. Actually, I can't even say that. I'll go back to World of Warcraft if they re-release Sparkle Kitty. But if they, you know, if they re-release Sparkle Kitty, then I'm only going to play retail. You say that like they haven't messed up every other version of World of Warcraft at this point. So, yes, I assume they're going to mess up Classic Plus. Like, but that also does not mean that I won't play it. Like, they fumbled the ball so hard on SOD. I honestly think like their whole the whole reason they made SOD, like Season of Discovery, is because they're like, hey, like what if we trick people into playing retail? And that's like the whole like story behind Season of Discovery. They're like, we're gonna put a classic skin on retail. That's gonna be Season of Discovery. Because if you play Season of Discovery, you know it plays more like retail than it does like classic. No, that Crimson Desert game, though, it looks like a single-player Black Desert Online. And, without microtransactions, which... So if it can deliver that experience, then like it's gonna be good, you know. in my opinion. I feel like the game is getting overhyped at this point. Because like Game Ranks put like a 20-minute video fucking blazing it. And then I watched like a couple of like videos from like people who have like, you know, a couple million subscribers like blazing the fuck out of it. And I was like, I feel like this is gonna be like Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk 2027 or yeah, whatever, like all over again, you know. It's just like I don't think there's like gonna be like any way it can deliver on like what I'm the fucking wrong one. Whatever. Oh, that's a lot of image. I know it's based off spell power, which obviously UC still gets spell power scaling, but. I also, I meant to mention this earlier before I started going on like talking about my trip and everything, but I do still plan on doing a 24-hour stream, which I talked about, at least 24-hour stream I should say, which I did talk about before I went on vacation, which, like I said, I still have 2 weeks before I have to go back, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks before I go back to work anyways, so we still have plenty of time to do that. I don't know when that's going to be, but that's going to be a thing before I go back to work. I will be doing like webcam and like everything, because I think that's like part of like the fun of that. Which I have like my webcam hooked up, I just never use it. It's funny because I bought like a nicer webcam because I was gonna like, I was like doing like movie reviews for like YouTube, and I was just like recording on my phone like on my couch, and I like then I had to transfer from like my phone to my computer, and then like edit down like the first like 5 seconds, like last 5 seconds where I'm sitting there like getting in position and everything, and I was like, I just need to, you know, get a webcam so I can just like, you know, record straight to my computer, and then like, you know, not have that, those parts I have to edit down, like where I'm like hitting play and then sitting down. Lol, I'm gold capped. $9.99. $9.99. Yeah. It's not gonna be like a subathon or anything like that. Like, I'm not. Speaking of subathon, Cadbane, thank you for the Prime gift sub. I appreciate you. We're like 2 steps away from jerking each other off at this point, because I keep giving you my Prime, and now you're giving me your Prime. Just like, let's just cut out the middle, man. Fucking Amazon Prime ruining our bromance. Peso bucks. You know, it's funny because like I don't like. I'm assuming like, cause they never like sent me like a check or anything, right? I just like I got paid like by them, and I assume it's just like direct deposit because I don't remember ever getting like a check or anything from them. But I was like, I wasn't gonna cash the check. I was just gonna like save the check and like be like, hey, look, I'm a fucking professional streamer. That same thing happened to YouTube though. Fucking, it's like, guys, I'd much rather like have like the physical check, so I can like either A, make a copy of it, or just B, never cash it. Speaking of cashing checks and being poor, I'm not poor, but I started using up like all my Chipotle points finally after saving up to 150,000 of them. That being it for free for the 2 days of the past week is all I've ate Chipotle. But anyways, that's gonna be it for me tonight. I planned on streaming like longer originally, but I forgot I have stuff that I need to do before Gibbs gets on. I'll more than likely be on tomorrow as well. I don't know if it's gonna be like tomorrow morning. It'll probably be like tomorrow afternoon, evening after the doctor's appointment, because I'm assuming he's gonna give me a steroid shot for the poison oak, and I'm assuming it's gonna make me feel weird because if you ever had steroids before, like they make your like legs feel like jelly, and like insomnia is like also like a side effect of them, and like sometimes you get like nauseous as well. But anyways, as long as I feel fine, I'll be streaming. If not, that's why I'm not streaming. Anyways, bye!